Good afternoon, fixed signs. Yes, because that's how we're doing this. I just explained it to the cardinals. We're going to do it through modalities. The cardinal, the fixed, and the mutable signs. And the reason for that is because we have all the zodiac signs in our charts. So it just depends on where they're placed. And when you do it by modalities, I feel like you have a sense of direction. So cardinal signs initiate, fixed signs stabilize and guide, and mutable signs adapt and disperse, like they transmute. So I like to think of them, when I started reading and I researched them, I like to think of them in like cardinal signs would be like the point of conception. The fixed signs would be the what is it called, where they implant, the implantations, and then the mutable would be the gestation. And that's how I like to think about it. So anyway, I decided that that's how we're going to do them. And for my fixed signs, I'm going to use these. I already pre-shuffled and I prayed. And I prayed some more. But I always shuffle on camera anyway. So, but before we get started, I smoke, I curse, I speak up, and I reference God because that's who I believe in and I pray to. And there will be noise in the background of my videos. So if any of that is a problem, click the little X button in the top right corner and go find yourself a more suitable reader. And if you choose to stick around, well then thank you and welcome. Alright, so that being said, what are fixed signs stabilizing and guiding this season? What are our fixed signs stabilizing and guiding? And so our fixed signs are Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. What are you guys stabilizing and guiding this season? What are the fixed signs stabilizing and guiding this season, please? The flow, movement, and hiccups in it. You're getting out the kinks in the flow. Blockages and clumps. What are the fixed signs stabilizing and guiding? What foundations are they forming in this season? Something about the 23rd or the number 23. You guys are stabilizing and guiding the finishing touches, perfecting something that you've been working on. And because Mercury retrograde is coming up, that could be a possibility, or revisiting something that you left incomplete or undone in the past, and you're tying up those loose ends. You're stabilizing the foundations that you already started to build upon in the last season. So whatever you started to build upon in the last season, you're stabilizing it more and more and more. It's like the foundation is poured, then the first couple of floors are done, and you continue and continue and continue building up. All right, God. I almost said fire signs. What are my fixed signs? Building, stabilizing, and guiding. What are the fixed signs stabilizing and guiding at this time? What are the fixed signs stabilizing and guiding at this time, please? What are the fixed signs stabilizing and guiding at this time, please? That just seems like a whole lot. But let's see. You are... Remember I said that getting out the hiccups? There's some kind of conversation that you had with somebody in the past that didn't... That something is like left unsaid or didn't sit well with you. You're fixing that. You're tying up those loose ends. Something was chaotic and now you've cleared it out. That's what you're stabilizing and building upon. You're building upon a foundation in which you've already cleared out a lot of the clutter and the madness from. This could be a home. You guys are stabilizing and guiding a creation. It could be your child. It could be something like as blatant as that, but it's a creation of yours. Something that you had started, and this isn't something that you just started. This is something you started 4 years ago. 4 to 6 years ago. This is something that you started 4 to 6 years ago, and you're starting to stabilize it and build upon it. Some of you are building a material stash, so that way you will not ever be in a position to be in material trouble again. You're restoring that. You might have come from a history of people who have a poverty mindset, a lineage with people with poverty mindset. You might have had a poverty mindset. You might have just straight up fucking been poor and not been able to, like, that's what you were born into and you don't see an out for it. But this is something that you, as you've grown, as you developed, as you've gotten older, as you matured, you were able to learn at an early age how to balance that, how to fix it. And so as a result, now in your adulthood, you might have had to start over. But because you have those skills, you bounce back, and your stash, you're building your stash. That's what you're building in this season. You're building your stash, and you're doing it in secret. And you're doing it quickly too. It's growing quickly, but you're doing it in secret. You're not telling anybody anything. And you're building on this new creative foundation that you don't want to tell anybody about, because you're afraid it's going to end poorly if you do, or it's going to end abruptly if you do, that they're going to ruin it for you. You're building a purified foundation off of something that was a mess. That's just the best way to say it. It was just a mess. It's like a restaurant with a dirty kitchen, where all the staff just digs in the salad bar and nobody uses gloves or their hand or tongs or anything. Just nasty. And that's what you cleared out. So some of you might have bought a restaurant recently, or might have bought a building that was previously a restaurant, and you're building upon that, cleaning out the foundation, starting the business, whatever business it's going to be for you. This is something, this purchase might have left you broke, so you don't have money to hire a demolition company to come in and clean this out. So you have to do the shit yourself, and it's hard work. But you were intuitively guided to buy this building. And when you got the idea, you have no idea how the fuck you were going to fund it. But you knew That was the plan, that was the idea, that was what was guided for you. I like to say that I make plans and God laughs, because I stopped making plans a long time ago, because like I said, I got laughed at too many times. But in this situation, I feel like this is something that you've been planning on. This spark that came in that you're building upon now, this whatever you've been working on for this 4 to 6 years, this was a plan that you had from way back when. Since you were like 5. Somebody might have told you, oh, you'd be good at blah, blah, blah. And ever since then, that shit stuck and you just knew that that was going to be it. Some of you are building on bottling up your emotions. Some of you are like putting too much on yourselves. Some of you are building and building and building until you're going to explode. It's like you're building, but everything is kept in. Some of you were too controlling with money in the past. And some of you didn't control it enough. And you know where you fall in this spectrum. Like, this isn't something that is like just new to you. Like, oh, nobody ever told me that. No, you fucking knew this. Some of you are your own worst enemy. Some of you should have had this running, this, whatever this has been going for 4 to 6 years. That's just starting to pop now. You should have had this done 9 years ago. And you would have if you weren't so busy putting yourself down. Dulling your shine for everyone else. Dimming your light, dimming your swords. Allowing everybody's lies to penetrate who you really are, or who you always knew you were, or who you were destined to be. But it's definitely you did it to yourself, and it's definitely, or you allowed it to be done. Somebody doesn't want to fuck with you because of what you know. You know too much. This can be because you've actually been there to witness it, or this can be your intuition. But somebody doesn't want to fuck with you because you know too much. And this person has a real fucking hard time with the fact that you know as much as you do, and they're working on, or this is you working on blocking this person from speaking on what they know. But this person's not going to speak on what they know because it's not their agenda, that's not their motive. So this could be somebody trying to block you from speaking because of what you know, but you had no intention on sharing what you know, because that shit ain't your business. You don't give a fuck what they do. But that's not what this is supposed to be about. This message is supposed to be about, what are you building on and guiding? What are you stabilizing and guiding? I see you stabilizing and guiding your money, your finances out of a sticky situation, or a season that you just had to go through. You're guiding yourself to that new beginning that you dreamed of when you were a kid. I almost said Taurus, and it's not just Taurus. What are my fixed signs stabilizing and guiding at this time, please? What are my fixed signs stabilizing and guiding at this time, please? What are we fixing and stabilizing and guiding? For the long haul. This is definitely, like, this is... Alright, so... For my Leos, this is... You stabilizing... You being okay with not being the person who's in the forefront of the shine on whatever this project is. If you're a Leo, you're building on a team project that you're not the center of attention on, and you're okay with that. You're building on your persona and accepting that in every situation you're not going to be the center of attention. In most. Alright, Leo? But not in all. And you're building on and accepting that and learning the lessons that come with that. And reaping the benefits that go with that as a result. Something about Mercury in retrograde. Remember I said some of you are going from the poverty mindset to restoring that? This heals the generational curse of that. There might have been some abuse with your ancestors and with money, and that's why you had to experience this now, and your generosity and your kindness is what brings this in. And for some of you Leos, you're stabilizing your persona, your ability to shine. Some of you Leos, it was Yah who was dimming your light and you didn't want to be seen, who was blocking your own shine and you didn't realize it. You might have got a message from one of your ancestors. If that's what guided you in that direction, to let you know, yo, you're holding yourself back. Something about perfect structure, perfect routine, but that's oppressive. Perfect formation. So the perfect formation for oppression. And you guys are revealing this. You're intuitive. That's what you're building on and stabilizing through this whole season, is your intuition. Confirmation of things that you already know. And the more times that you confirm that your intuition was right, the better it works. You're exercising that. Whatever this creative endeavor is that you've been working on, or that you wanted to do since you were a kid, whatever it is, there's something that you told yourself you weren't good enough to do, or you didn't know how to, or nobody in your family does it, so you couldn't. You might have thought like intuitive gifts have to be like come down through lineage. You didn't know that you can develop them, or you didn't know that they were in your lineage. Nobody ever told you. 10-10. 10-10 and 22. 2210, that could be somebody's building number. This is a gift or a talent that you've always had and you've always known that you've had, but you've hid it from other people because you felt like they would leave you or abandon you or ostracize you and you wouldn't be part of the crowd. So this is like being a medium and knowing it since you were a kid, but you don't tell people that you see anything because they're going to think you're crazy and then you won't have no friends. And that's the story you've been telling yourself for all these years. And it's like now times have changed, things have evolved. So maybe it's different now and you see things differently. Something about your security. your security and your being stable. Stabilization, formation, security. And symmetry, they said. Symmetry. Some of you are going to feel like somebody's showing off. Like, you're going to see, they might send you a message. You might see something on social media where they're out, the new person, and they're out to dinner, or they're out on a date and having so much fun. Somebody's going out of their way to show you that. I don't know why that's relevant. It seems to be a kid's father. But it could be any man who's a father. There's something about he's supposed to be more mature than that. What are the fixed signs stabilizing in general? Guiding. Stabilizing and guiding. What are the fixed signs stabilizing and guiding, please? Fixed signs stabilizing and guiding, please. Keeping quiet. That's what they've been saying this whole entire time. Keeping quiet. Being selective on who you speak to and who you deal with. You're stabilizing and guiding your disappointments, your feelings of failure. You're turning that imposter syndrome and you're turning it away. And you're not going to think about it like that anymore. You're not going to say, I can't. You're going to know that I can and I will overcome anything. That's that Capricorn perseverance. The long haul. You guys are building on some disappointment. Some disappointment from the past forced you to pick a new direction and to go. And so you decided to go. And now you've been moving in that direction and you've just been figuring it out. And that's caused the wheels to turn. You'll get where you're going eventually. It's just, you may not seem real happy about it right now. But know that this disappointment is what's guiding you. Or what you're guiding and stabilizing. Like transmuting. The truth comes in about something that's in your head. You've been telling yourself a lie and the truth comes in about it. You might have planted some seeds and then said that they weren't going to come because you didn't see the harvest right away. But it finally comes in after you're like, this is bullshit. Are we stabilizing and guiding, please? What are we stabilizing and guiding? Commitments to what we know is right, to our values, to our morals, beliefs. Even in the face of adversity, you're gonna have people who are like, that's what you think? That's fucked up. And how could you feel like that? But you know right from wrong, and you're gonna stand up for what you believe in. You're stabilizing and grounding morals and guiding morals. Because judgment time is coming. And people need to work on themselves. Including us. We're people. They're too focused on material gain. If you know people who are too focused on material gain, you're going to redirect them. And if you're one of those people whose sole purpose in life is to make money, then you need to rethink those things. God is turning the wheels of fate. God has control, no one else. You just got your head down and you're just working and you get another bag. Real quick, it comes in. You didn't even see that shit coming. You look up, you're like, oh shit. I'm at the 9 already? I'm about to be at the 10. It had to be this way. Alrighty, here, fixed signs. I'm going to leave it there. Till I meet you again soon. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, wait. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for being here with me. And, yeah, I sell my paintings like these as digital downloads online. And we have physical products as well. That's on the website. And those links are in the description box. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye.